Mermaid here and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a recap of my latest and greatest mermaid adventure yet. So recently, and I don't know how recently because I don't know when I'm going to post this, but recently for me now, I took a freediving course with a couple of other mermaids, and other people had signed up as well. So we're now 801, like the first level, certified, which is just scary and very cool. But I wanted to give you guys a rundown of what happened and how it pretty much broke my brain. It's so scary to admit this on camera. So it all started off really well. Mermaid Yosa came to pick me up and we made our way out to Ocean Quest, and we got there. We squeaked by with almost no time to spare. We sort of rolled in as everybody was kind of set up and ready to go. I got seated, and I'm gonna tell you guys, scared probably doesn't sum up nicely how horrified and terrified and utterly and completely petrified I was for this course. And I know you're gonna be sitting there like, Courtney, you're a mermaid, like what? And you have to know, I am so terrified of letting people down, and I have all these unreasonable expectations on myself and these things that just loom at all times, this sort of haze, if you will, above me. And I was terrified. Like, I was sick all morning, I was scared, I couldn't really eat, but you have to eat because the food has to kind of empty from your stomach up until you actually hit the pool, because it's really hard to hold your breath. You can only hold one thing at a time. You can't have like tons of food and all that while you're trying to hold your breath. Like, it doesn't really work. And we get to the class and I'm already like nauseous, and I've been drinking so much water because it's the only thing that I can really do. And they were telling us to drink lots of water, and we're in the class, and I'm stressing. Now I have vertigo, and a lot of you guys know that. I've talked about it in previous videos. I get really dizzy, but not like dizzy and vertigo is not really the same. It's similar, but vertigo is pretty much it's not quite like a hallucination, but it feels like the whole world is actually moving in whatever direction it'll be around you. So we were sitting in a room with the ceiling fan, and I'm triggered by things that flicker. So yeah. So we're sitting there and I've got my hat on, which is thank the good gods that I actually thought, hey, bring a hat with, because I had to wear the hat the whole class because the ceiling fan was right above me and there was a light, and it was just like this on my page, like on my paper that I was writing on. I thought I was gonna be sick the entire class, and I couldn't tell them to turn it off or ask them to turn it off because there was no air conditioning and it was hot AF, guys. So that's fine. I'm coping, it's good. I must have gone to the washroom like to pee like 6 times because I was drinking so much water. And we're learning all these things, we're writing down all this stuff, and I am progressively getting, like, my anxiety level is like, it's just climbing with every piece of information. Everything is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it through this. I'm not gonna make it to the swimming portion. And this is my conversation. I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna be the worst one in the class. What kind of a mermaid am I? Like, everyone's gonna hate me. I can't do this. Oh my Lanta. Oh my Lanta. Yeah. So then comes the practical portion of the classroom work, where I didn't know that we had to bring a mat with because I didn't realize it was that kind of a thing. I obviously didn't read something in an email, but I had my towel, so I laid out my towel. So we're doing our very first breath holds. I think we did 3 of them in class. The instructors were amazing, okay? These are 2 of the most zen, chill people I've never in my life known 2 people that have made me feel more just like, you know what I mean? And they were having us do these exercises and really like to center and focus your breathing. And then there was the first breath hold, right? And we were doing it. We weren't supposed to hold it, you know, just until you felt the first kind of twinge of your body being like, hey, breathing might be a thing. And okay, and it was fine. So I would think I was probably the first one to start breathing again, because you can kind of hear, because you do what's called recovery breaths. I'm not going into all of that. That's not something that should be taught like this. You should take the course or a class or something. I'll leave information down below for you to check out if that's something that you're interested in. Breath holding is dangerous, and you should know what you're doing before you just are like, yes, I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna hold my breath for 5 minutes and the thing. You know, there's some knowledge, there's some things I didn't realize how much, but there's knowledge to be had, man. It's intense. And so we came out of it and we're all kind of talking about what we felt first, and everybody was experiencing something different. And I thought it was really amazing that we're all essentially doing the same task. And we're all made up of the same matter, essentially, right? And yet everybody felt something different first. So for me, I felt like a wave of anxiety and I really needed to swallow. And other people already felt some spasms or tightness in their chest and that kind of thing. Anyway, we make it through. And the second one I held on a little longer because as you're learning what you're feeling, you can kind of calm yourself through it. And it's intense, guys. It's really intense. And then we do the third one. Now I found out later that I made it to 2 minutes and 30-ish seconds, which kind of made my brain explode a little bit because I did not think it was that long. I like sunk into some kind of weird Zen state. It was like I was in my body, but I wasn't in my body. I was like watching myself do this thing. And you know, I had some contractions in my chest and I could feel like some tightness, and then I realized how zen I was, and I was like, oh my god, you're so zen, you're doing it. And of course that made me freak out. And then I had to let the air out and I was like, oh, why? So, but at this point, everybody was kind of done and we were all sort of sitting up, but I felt like I was gonna faint. I was like, oh my goodness, you're gonna faint in this class. And now when I say I'm gonna faint, like I actually do faint. I'm not like one person who's like, oh, I'm gonna faint, and then it's just like, it's just kind of garbage. They're just sort of saying it for whatever reason they're saying it for, but they're not actually gonna faint. They're kind of joking. No, when I tell you, if I'm like, you're ever with me and I tell you, no dude, I'm gonna faint, like I will actually faint. So I didn't faint though in class, thank goodness. I was smart and I was like, okay, right back to your breathing. And I laid down on my side. And I just let the people around me were milling and talking. They were all still sitting on the floor and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay, it's fine. And sure enough, I was fine. Then we had some more classroom work to do, and thank goodness for Teresa, who had some apple slices. She's like, hey, here's an apple slice. I'm like, I love you, thank you. And the sugar kind of chilled me out. Okay, so now the classroom portion ends and we're off to the pool to do the next, like the practical stuff, like the real static and dynamic breath holds. I was freaking out. Like I really, at this point, I'm thinking there's no way. After the class and feeling like I was gonna faint, I'm like, this is not gonna happen. I am not gonna do this. This is not gonna be good. This is how I'm gonna die. And meanwhile, through all of this, Mermaid Biosa has been like my rock, okay? She's gonna also have a video up at some point, she said, so I will leave a link to her channel down below. Definitely go check her out. She is the most mermaid, okay? She's more mermaid than most mermaids, okay? I'm telling you, you gotta go check her out. Her breath hold, 3 minutes in the water. 3. Anyways, back to the story. So we get to the pool and we've got all of our gear. They rented us all gear, and I've never worn a wetsuit before. I'm totally fine wearing a mermaid tail, terrified to wear a wetsuit apparently, and get in my gear, and then I zip the thing up. Now, I had an incident when I was a kid that has made me really sensitive about anything around my neck. So now I'm very sensitive about, this is why I always have a nice, or if you see me ever wearing a t-shirt, you'll notice I pull on it a lot, or I'm forever stretching it. It's just a reflex. I don't know I'm doing it, but I do it apparently. And I've got on this wetsuit and it is so claustrophobic. I think, I'm like, how do I make it into mermaid tail? How am I doing this? Okay, so got the mask, we've got the snorkel, got the flippers out, and we go to do the static breath holds. They're running us through some safety stuff, giving us some, you know, explanation of how to do it, what to look for, because it's a buddy system. You have your buddy and your person in the water and you're their buddy, and you've got to check on them, like tap on them every so often, make sure, yeah, you're still okay, good. So we're doing this, and Mermaid Biosa is just a champ. She's like down for the count, like she is going. We're doing the thing and I'm standing there and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is all I'm saying to myself this whole time. There's no way you can do this. There's no way you can't do this. You can't do this. This is my whole conversation. So you guys out there who are like, oh, Courtney, you know, you have this all together and you're this powerfully positive person. Not in here, I'm not. It's all one big jambalaya. Nothing good, okay? Nothing good. And then it's my turn. And if I wasn't freaking out before, I was freaking out now, because not only am I freaking out, but now I'm cold. And if you know me, cold and me, not good friends. So you have time to get zen, to get chill. So I'm on the edge of the pool and I'm like, you know, I'm doing the thing. And then I'm like, all right, she gives us the signal, the instructor, and I push off and I put the head down. And as terrifying as it was for me, I didn't push myself farther than I felt comfortable, because I was really scared to faint in the water and I didn't want to experience that. So I didn't push myself. I did everything as best as I could as they had instructed, you know, but it was insane. It was really a cool experience. It's like everything slows down to this peaceful, trance-like weirdness. And I, you know, I held for as long as I could, and I wasn't gonna push it, because I was like, you know what? I don't need a negative experience today. What I needed was to face a fear, to do it head on, and come out on the other side with a better attitude about the whole thing. So I only did 2 out of the 3 breath holds, because after the second one I did feel dizzy and I was like, I'm just not gonna push it. I wanna enjoy the rest of the class. And it was 3 hours in the water. 3 hours in the water. Guys, that's insane, by the way, if you haven't done that before. I was really pruny when I came out. Okay, so that's done. Now they make us do 4 laps of the pool, because they've got to see us do them. And we're all up out of the water, and now we're getting weighted. Now I actually have some video footage for you guys as well, so I will cut intermittently between stuff. Thank you, huge shout out to Mermaid Yosa for hooking me up with the footage. I was too scared to even bring my GoPro into the pool area with me. I was just freaking out, so if it hadn't been for Mermaid Yosa, I would have no record that I was even in the water, okay? Okay, so neoprene makes you float. Now I would like to also say shout out to any mermaids with actual neoprene tails. How you guys actually sink in that thing? You float like crazy in neoprene. I've never been in neoprene before. All my tails are fabric, right? So you don't have the same floating issue. Wow. So I'm a big girl, and to start off, they put like 10 pounds of weight on me. Oh my goodness, guys. It was like 8 or 10 pounds. So if I wasn't freaked out before, and before that, I was freaked out now, because not only are my feet cold, and I'm a little nervous, and I'm in this claustrophobic suit, and I'm already so negative, now I've got to put weights on and not be afraid to die, okay? So I'm freaking out. People are going, everyone's, you know, getting their weight, because you have to be, what you have to be is neutrally buoyant in the water, which I never really understood, now I do. But basically, you just glide. It's not like you're sinking, it's not like you're floating, but you're just like, it's weird. So here I am, I've got my weights on, and I get in the water, and you know, I'm nervous, and I'm breathing, and I'm like, I don't think I can do this, but okay. Then I sink down a little ways and push off from the wall, and away we go, away we go. And I didn't sink, and I didn't float. I was almost perfectly neutral, and it felt really weirdly good. Like weird. I could have just stayed there, you know, if you needed to breathe. I mean, I just could have stayed, I could have stayed just floating forever. And I come up, and next people go, and now it's time to do the dynamic breath hold, where you basically are just going from one end of the pool to the other, or as far as you can go. And this was something I knew I could do, because static is one thing, dynamic is a totally different animal, because when you're moving, you don't have as many things to think about. And I do full lengths of the pool, various pools, various lengths, all the time. And it's not something I'm scared of. I can do it underwater, it's fine. In a mermaid tail too. So it's my turn, and I get in the water, and we went twice. The footage you'll see is the third, I think my second and third time going. But something clicked, okay? And I'm telling you, it all came together. The whole thing came together. I was listening to my body. I could feel all of the inner workings, and I could feel myself calming myself down. I don't know how I was doing it, but I was like, you can't, there was no sound in my head. Okay, so if you're like me and you suffer from chronic anxiety and pain and all these things and just constantly in a state of chaos, you have a voice that plays. I don't know, maybe it's different for you, but I have a voice that plays. I have a very sarcastic, negative, angry version of myself that I hear in my head all the time. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, she's always there telling me what kind of a fat, stupid lump I am who can't do anything right, who's a failure and all of these things. And guys, I'm not kidding you, she's always there. She's gone. She's gone. I don't hear it anymore, and it was freaking me out. Now I know you guys are thinking like, okay, Courtney's snapped, she's lost her mind. But when I was swimming, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for this wave of anxiety, that rush to hit me, and it never came. I made it all the way to the other end of the pool, and I surfaced, got some air, and was like, what? Like what? This is all I had to do this whole time to shut this up? Well, hot diggity. There you go. Even my bird in the background is getting excited about this. And the second time, or the third time that we went, we took off one of the weights to make it 6 pounds, and 6 pounds was perfect. I didn't feel as anxious about having that much weight on me, because once you come up and you're no longer neutrally buoyant, you do feel like you're gonna sink a little bit and you're kind of gonna stay above water kind of a thing. So 6 pounds was perfect.
Are you going to do that funny thing?
Yes, because you look adorable doing Oh, thank you.
So mermaid!
So mermaid!
I have like zero explanation for this. I don't understand. I would like to say though, to the instructors of this course, I don't know if you guys were cool with me giving your names, so I'm just gonna, you guys are the instructors. I have never known two people to be that understanding and patient and considerate and encouraging like you two. I've never known patience like that. People have never, like, I won't say never, there have been good people in my life who are patient with me, but the vast majority find my nonsense annoying. They find my anxiety frustrating. They find, you know, my little quirky things annoying. Now I don't, because I am the way that I am. You either like me or you don't. That's not really my issue, that's yours. You being the collective you, I don't mean you, the viewer watching this, obviously. But the thing is I was 100% me. I was as raw as it gets. I was as anxious and crazy as I've ever been, if not more so. And these two individuals, I have no words. I don't know, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to accurately express my gratitude in such a way that you could know that I cry. Like, I've been crying a lot because I just feel so grateful, so like understood on some weird fundamental level by myself and by you that I don't even know what to do. It was just so weird. I don't feel like the same person. Like, at the end of that day, I felt like a totally different person than the person who started, who was ready to just throw herself into traffic because she was so anxious and couldn't imagine going another day feeling that miserable, to being like, no, just breathe. It was fine. Anyways, this has been a very heavy video. Power to you if you've stuck this far, because wow, I don't even know how I'm going. I've been filming for 23 minutes and 40 seconds now. Okay, so let's just pull this all together for you. So basically, freediving has like triggered something in my brain to be like, all I ever had to do was have a little patience with myself and actually listen to how I was feeling. And if I wasn't feeling ready to do something or good about something, that it's 100% acceptable to take the time that I needed. And that is how I plan on living moving forward. If I'm not ready to do something, I'm not gonna do it. If I need a second to sit down and calm down, I'm gonna take it. And the rest of the world is just gonna have to deal with that. Because this feeling, I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. This feeling of being in control and capable is unlike anything I've ever known before. Not in any job, not in any activity, not in anything. Like, my whole life. I've always been that negative girl who's been like, you're not as good as so-and-so, you're not as strong as so-and-so, you're not as pretty as so-and-so, look at this person, they draw so much better than you, look at this person, they're so much more capable than you are at everything. And I am not even in that zone anymore. I am like right back here where it's like, no, actually you're okay. You're okay. You're good, in fact. You've got this. She's freaking out. I don't know if she's... Are you stuck? You good? She's good. Now, above and beyond everything, I would like to give the biggest shout out to Mermaid Biosa. And I'm gonna say again, if you haven't checked her out, you don't know who I'm talking about. I'm sure I included a little bit of footage here and there. You do need to go check out my link to her in the description box below, because she saved me most of the day. Like, I don't think I would have gone if she hadn't have been there with me. I wouldn't have gone to the swimming portion. She kept me as zen as she possibly could. She was encouraging, she was kind, she was patient. She was exactly the person I needed to go do this with. Because I'm pretty sure I would have lost my nuggets all over the place if it wasn't for her. And so, without getting emotional, because I don't want to do it, I made it this whole video without crying. Who's impressed? I'm sure I'll cry afterwards because I can feel it welling up. But a huge, huge shout out. I hope you know how much you mean to me and how lucky I feel that I got to meet you that day, all those years ago in 2015, and that we became friends. I feel really, really fortunate, and I couldn't have done that class without you. So thank you so much, Mermaid Biosa. I would also like to give a huge shout out to the instructors. You guys made it so easy for me to come down off of this anxiety cloud that I live on, to come back down to reality and to realize that, like, that it's just okay. I am not gonna cry. Good? No, you're wearing too much makeup. And you guys just kind of made me realize that I have some value and that I'm not just, you know, that I'm worth a little bit more, and being able to see myself a little differently now. I feel like I owe you guys a lot. I just want to thank you so much for creating this opportunity for all of us to come out and learn the first steps of freediving. So you guys, if you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a little something, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to join the pod, and the bell notification as well to follow along my mermaid adventures. This is not the last you've heard of this, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!